to all of our men and women in uniform, all of our veterans who are in the audience today. It's such a privilege to be here today with you as we celebrate your day, Veterans Day. As a nation, we come together to reflect on your service and your sacrifice and to say thank you. This particular Veterans Day has particular, though difficult, meaning, and as we are mindful of the terrible loss of life and tragedy that occurred at Fort Hood. And my thoughts and my prayers, and I know I speak on behalf of this entire congressional delegation, with those soldiers and civilians who lost their lives at Fort Hood, those who are injured, and pray for their quick recovery. And thoughts and prayers, of course, are also with the families of those who have lost loved ones or caring for loved ones in the hospital right now. And we're mindful of their sacrifice. And again, my condolences go out to those families. Let me also say that as this Veterans Day obviously reflect on the fact that men and women, of course, are in uniform are right now in harm's way in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm always amazed at their service, their sacrifices. I sit on the House Armed Services Committee, or when I've been able to travel to Iraq and Afghanistan to visit personally with our troops, and to tell them how proud we are of them, and that they have so much support back home. I want that message to go out to all of our veterans, that your service and your needs are always first and foremost on our minds. We know how difficult it is, and when you just remotely imagine how difficult it is for you to be away from your families for so long. And it's a sacrifice, of course, on behalf of the families themselves, and they are part of our veterans' families that we honor today as well. I'm proud to be a part of a Congress that is always putting the needs of our soldiers and our veterans first and foremost on our minds. We see it in the support that we provide, the VA budget, which has received steady increases year to year, the support that we provided, of course, in the VA, the military construction budget. And we can see some of that work going on right here at the Providence VA as it's growing by leaps and bounds. I understand we're going to have some ribbon cuttings soon, whether it's at the Center for Restorative and Regenerative Medicine, some of the operating suites, and the support for increased mental health services. All of these things are things that we're proud to work on, and again, are first and foremost on our minds. I particularly want to point out the great work that Congressman Kennedy has done, both on the issues, as he spoke about, on mental health parity, and working to remove the stigma of mental health issues, but also in particular providing more support for our soldiers, traumatic brain injury issues, and also PTSD, as Patrick spoke about. All of these things are important things to make sure that we provide the right resources and support for our soldiers in the field, or when they are injured, or when they come out of the military, to make sure that they have those follow-up care and support services that they need. And of course, in particular, Patrick's work on the House Appropriations Committee. We all know that it's one thing to be talking about the support. It's another thing to actually be providing the resources and the funds. And Patrick always makes that a priority, as does Senator Reid and his service on the Appropriations Committee. On the Senate side, it's really all about the dollars, and we're fortunate in Rhode Island to have with Patrick and Senator Reid on those two very important committees. And of course, Sheldon and I, Senator Whitehouse and I, are always right there lockstep, working with them to make sure that those bills go through and have the right resources for all of our veterans' needs. So again, I am just so proud to be here today as we celebrate this Veterans Day, mindful of your service and your sacrifice on behalf of a grateful nation. We can't thank you enough for all that you have done to keep our nation free and strong. And we were forever grateful. May God bless you and keep you safe in His care. Thank you very much. God bless you.